Binance just announced the listing of O1 or O token on June 17th today in about a couple of hours. And normally I don't get too much excited about news listings, especially in this bear market. Most pump for a few days, sure, but then slowly fade away. But O1 caught my attention for a different reason. Now, this might be one of the few recent launches where the bulls actually win. So in this video, I'll explain what O1 Exchange is, how it works, its backers and achievements, its old tokenomics and utilities, and my personal O1 price prediction. This is not financial advice. Be responsible with your own decisions. Let's get into it. First, what is O1 Exchange? Well, the easiest way to understand O1 is to think of it as a trading terminal, but for DeFi. Now, DeFi right now is fragmented by design, right? You might use Hyperliquid, mostly for perpetuals, for example, Jupiter for swaps on Solana, several bridges to move assets between chains, and then predictions markets and meme coin trading terminals as well, and another platform entirely for token analytics, for example. Now, every protocol has its own interface, its own strength and utility. Every chain has its own ecosystem, and every additional step creates friction. This fragmentation is one of the biggest reasons many traders still prefer centralized exchanges. Now, O1 is trying to solve that by becoming the single interface traders use to access DeFi. As you can see right here, through just one self-custodial dashboard, users can access spot trading on market or pulse trading, basically meme coins trading, or futures trading on perps, predictions market, cross-chain activities with their bridge right here on the bridge side, portfolio management on right here, the rewards with referrals and everything, and then the wallet tracking and everything with built-in AI tools as well. And most importantly, O1 is not trying to rebuild anything or replace anything. No, instead, it sits on top of them. So, how does O1 work? Well, in the backend, the platform routes orders through liquidity sources such as Uniswap or 4meme or Meteora, for example, if you're trading meme coins, 1inch, or even Hyperliquid if you're trading perpetuals, right? While providing additional functionalities like AI-powered analytics. So if you can click right here, there is a similar tokens and AI token narrative. Just generate AI token narratives, and you know what I mean, right? MEV protection or MEF protection, multi-wallet tracking right here at the tracker, and trading view integration. There are a lot to O1. Now, on the surface, O1 looks like a trading terminal for everything that you need. They're available on multiple public chains, for example, like Base, BNB, Solana for swaps, Cowshe for prediction markets, Hyperliquid for perps trading, so you can bridge assets, throughout all of these different chains, right? And of course, it's very easy to navigate because the platform interface looks similar to most trading terminals like we've seen, like Pump Fund or Axiom or GMGN, for example, right? For perpetuals trading on Hyperliquid, powered by Hyperliquid, the experience is on par with centralized exchanges. Everything is very in order, very easy to navigate. So you can get around pretty quickly. Of course, if you want to get started on O1, you have to sign in with your email, all right? After that, the platform will create a automatic wallet for you, so you don't need to manually connect your wallet and everything like that, but you do need to deposit your assets, right? So if you want to trade on Base, you need to deposit, click on deposit and copy the address and deposit your Ethereum or USDC on Base. If you trade on BNB, same thing, Solana, same thing, Cowshe, Hyperliquid. So each of these individual chains, you have to deposit your money in it. What I would like to see from O1 in the future is that they have a unified trading account, so you just have to deposit once, and then you can trade on multiple chains, right? That would be a perfect functionality that they need to have, but they don't have it yet. I'm looking forward to it in the future. Now, after you've signed in, after you've deposited your money, and let's say you traded, finished trading, and you don't want to trade anymore, you can just click on withdraw, right? So you can withdraw your assets outside. Here we go. Click on withdraw to your own self-custody wallet. So that's pretty nice. And if you want to self-custody your own wallet, you can just go onto the wallet page and then click on export private key. So you can own this wallet in your preferred networks and on your wallet. So you don't need to worry about any of that. They don't hold your assets entirely. So let's do a quick review of what they have to offer. First is the market tab, where you can find trading tokens, O1 Alpha tokens, banker launches, watch lists on Base. If you switch it to BNB, you have trading tokens on BNB, watch lists, recent, for example. So basically you can buy and sell the spot tokens on these exchanges. If you click on polls, this is more exciting because it's meme coin trading essentially. For BNB, they integrate for meme, launchpad and printer. They don't have Flap though. I don't know why they don't have Flap. On Solana, they have all the popular launch pads, meme coins like Believe, Bonk, Moonshot, Pump Fund, Launch Lab, Meteora, and everything. And Backsap as well, printer, so you can buy these tokens of Solana pretty nicely. On Base, yeah, they do have BankerBot. They also have Base app Zora, Zora Creator, all these different launchpads on Base. Definitely, they need to step up their game on BNB because Flap on BNB is coming up pretty nicely. And then you have also the tracker where you can track different wallets and different individuals who you like to basically track, like a normal meme coin trading terminals. You have wallets I showed you already. You have portfolio where you can manage your own P&Ls, see your analytics portfolio, and then you have the rewards. Now, this is very important because they do offer an insane amount of rewards for people, cashback and fees reduction. So just use our code right here, CNJYT, on the screen. So what you would get is you get 20% cashback, and I earn about 20% on referrals. The more people that sign in using my link, the more cashback basically I can give back to you guys, right? So check out the CNJYT referral code down in the description to support the channel and trade on O1 Exchange to get a 20% cashback. All right, I appreciate you. Thank you very much. They also have an airdrop program, but I think it ended already with the season 1 because they're launching their token. But they will have more seasons. Season 2, season 3 are coming, right? We'll talk about the tokenomics a little bit. And then they have the prediction markets. Yeah, you can click on here and you can see all these different markets for prediction, like crypto, economics, elections, entertainment. So just let's say crypto, for example, and I click on when Bitcoin will hit 150, and I can choose the yes or no, right? All these different chances. Click on it, and let's say I want to buy it. Now, let's say this one is active before August. Bitcoin hit $150,000. If I want to buy and sell no, I can just do that, right? But I obviously don't have the money, or I can buy yes, whatever it is, right? Buy yes or no. So that's pretty easy to use, right? No and yes. And finally is the perps market where you can trade perpetuals, and this is powered only by Hyperliquid. So yeah, that's why you see a lot of these volumes on here, 1.8 billion, $1 billion in volume. This is not due to O1. This is just like the volume that they taken for Hyperliquid. So you don't have to worry about liquidity, the slippage and everything. They use that up Hyperliquid. You know what I mean? Just built on top of it. So, and that's pretty much it for O1 Exchange. There are several other, I guess, functionalities like the language, the feature updates, and the wallets. You can create multiple wallets, by the way. But yeah, you can just figure it out by yourself. In terms of backers and achievements, they've had a lot of big names backing them, right? So they raised about $4.8 million seed round from the following institutional investors: Coinbase Ventures, A16Z, Alliance DAO, the House Group, Amber Group, and 30 plus selected angels and institutional investors. So right off the bat, what I can see is they don't really raise a lot of money. $4.8 million is pretty much nothing when it comes to like building like an exchange aggregator, but they do have a lot of big names supporting them, like Coinbase, ICZ, and 30 plus, right, other angels and investors. That shows that they are deeply connected within the space in order to get Coinbase to invest in them. You know what I mean? And even with this low amount of fundraising, they already have a bunch of investors and KOLs and big name funds to support them. So that's a very nice sign. You don't want to give up like a lot of money in funding rounds so these backers and VCs can dump on you. But at the same time, you want a lot of investors to support you, right? And I think this is a very good amount to raise, even though it's not a lot, but I think it's sufficient, right? And I'm going to talk about that in a little bit and why I think this is very good when we talk about the price prediction, right? And in terms of achievements, they have a key achievements include surpassing like I think $200 million in total trading volume within months of beta launch, processing millions of transactions and onboarding hundreds of thousands of users while ranking among the top revenue generating protocols on Base. I cannot verify if this number is legit or not because there are a lot of fake numbers in the space, so I'll let you to do the judging. Okay, now in my opinion, this is a very good line of backers personally that I've seen, and an adequate amount of fundraising suitable to quote unquote push the token up and not be afraid of getting dumped by the VCs a lot. So let's talk about the tokenomics. If you scroll down right here, Then the total supply is a billion tokens. It will be on base. There is no inflation or minting after the TGE. Very good. So it's fixed. The circulating supply is only about 16%. Absolutely low float, right? So it's a very nice combo of low float, a very, very high amount of investors, big names backing them, and the FDV. We'll talk about that in a little bit. For the community airdrop and trading points, about 3% for the airdrop. It's basically close to nothing. Ecosystem and trading competitions, 3%. Liquidity funds, CXs, 6%. And treasury, 4%. Again, very low float. The vesting is right here. Community, 25%. Only 3% unlock. 0% unlock for investors. Very good. 0% for team. And team only takes about 10%. This is very good amount. Investors, 18%. Again, very good amount. And the vesting is right here. Team, 1 year cliff, followed by a 36-month linear vesting. Absolutely amazing. Same terms for the investors. Very good. We have all these lockings as well. So I'd say, again, this is a very nice combo of low float, again, high big names investors. So I think the price can perform really well. Okay, now let's talk about the most important point in this video, which is the price prediction of O1 exchange. On Poly Market right now, they're guessing that O token will open near maybe like above $100 million in FTV. 91% saying yes. So I think this is pretty much priced in already. So it's going to be more than 100 million. Only about 48% of people saying that it's above 200 million, and only about 23% saying that it will be above $300 million. I mean, it's not unreasonable. The platform has demonstrated traction and achievements and backers, but it has not yet demonstrated durability. And we've seen many exchanges in the market. Do we need another exchange aggregator? I mean, sure, O1 has many functionalities, right? But individually, these are incomplete. So users would rather use Hyperliquid or Axiom instead for full functionality. But I don't think that building an exchange right now, aggregator, is ideal at this point. I could be wrong in the future. With that said, I still think that the price of O1 token will can still perform really well in this market. The token is low float, highly controlled supply with loads of partners and backing name situation. All right, Bitcoin is also recovering a little bit. Altcoins are pumping left and right, especially if they're launched on Binance wallet, Binance Alpha, and look at what we're doing here, right? And so I think this is very good. Even though I don't like the product that much, I still think that this token could pump to like $300 to maybe $400 million in FTV after only a couple of days of listing. So my action plan is quite simple. If O token opens around $80 to $100 million in FTV range, I am sizing heavily into O token, right? Waiting for the next leg up to about $200 million. If the market immediately pushes this token at $200 million FTV and above right at the listing time, then I would buy in at a little slower rate, more patient, and wait for it to pull back a little bit to below $200 million FTV. At that point, it's a little bit high, right? And I'm not comfortable. And so I'll cash out at around $300 million in FTV in profit, right? I'm not going to sell. If it's not going to $300 million, I'm just going to keep on holding and wait for the next couple of days or weeks. Eventually, it will reach $300 million in FTV, right? I think. In summary, I'm not looking to hold O1 for a long term, right? I'm only looking to trade O1 for short term. I'll buy at around below $200 million FTV, and I'll sell at around $300 to $400 million in FTV. If it goes down to my buy range, I'll buy some more and I'll sell some more. So basically just trading, right? Scalp trading, swing trading, not holding for long. And that's it for my video about O1. Let me know what you guys think about O1 as an exchange and O token. All right, if you buy the token or not buy the token at TGE. All right, thank you so much guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Daily out.